Yep, sweet. So the recording has started now. All good. Let's start from the third one, which we have the support for recording the usage of the restrictive practices. As per the NDIS Commission, the restrictive practices are any practices that have the effect of restricting rights or movement of a person with disability. So in general, if I say when you are providing or any sport worker is providing any services to the clients who are disabled, and if there are any restricting rights, or if someone restricts someone's movement, then we have the ability to record it in a case note. So this case note functionality have a new section type called restrictive practice, where once you select this one, you will have the option to link that case note to any action, to any group activity, and to link with any incident reports. I'll jump into the system and I'll show you where it exists. This is the new system, 376 version, and you have already seen this one with the new cosmetic changes. The restrictive practice enhancement will be under the case note section. So once you select any client under the busy case system, you have this option on the left-hand side menu called case notes. Once you click on this one, you have the note type section, and here you will see the new section which has been added to the system called restrictive practice. Once you click on this one, you have another option to select the service provided on date. I'll select as of now. So if you click on was it authorized, yes, no emails will be sent. If you select no, email notification will be sent to the nominated person, whoever record the case notes. You can add the case notes here. You can also add the attachments in the case note section. You can just drag and drop the files and simply attach the files. Once you click on this one, you can select who was involved in the section and just click on submit. Once you click on submit, the case note have been created, and you can always see the case notes under the history section. You can also delete, add comments, and share the case notes. And as I selected, was it authorized now, it will also show it was authorized or not. And jumping towards the next enhancement. So basically, I'm going one by one with as per the release notes. So if it says support for recording the uses of restrictive practices, it's number 3, and the next one will be the number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7. And I will also provide this PPT to everyone so that for your use, you can go through this PowerPoint presentation and straight away jump into the release note item number, and you can straight away have the section. If we have all the information in the manuals as well, so we have the manual name over here and the chapter as well, where you can see all the new functionalities in the system. So you don't actually have to go through whole manual and see. So you can simply jump into this one, search for the section and chapter number this, and then you can have a look at all the functionalities in the system.
We have a few questions coming through. So one of the first questions we have is, what does the link to activity do for restrictive practice?
Okay, so the link to activity, what happened is like the case note could be linked to any group activity, any incident report, and any action. So once, I'll just quickly jump into the system again. So for example, if I create a case note for this case file, you will have
anything. Why can't I hear anything?
Sorry, can everyone else can hear me?
Yep, we have nodding heads.
Yes.
Okay.
So for example, I had created an incident report. So this is a demo version. If you have more data, you will see all the actions and all the incident reports and all the group activities. For this client, we only have this group activity created as of now, in which he is enrolled. So I can link this case note restricted practice, that it happens during this group activity, so that you can link that case note with the group activity.
Okay. And then the other question we have is, can we clarify who gets the email notification?
Yes. So the nominated person will get the email notification. For example, the person who is recording the case notes. And if there has been one restrictive practices, for example, you click on yes. Sorry, if you click on no, if it's not authorized, the CEO of the company will get the notification. And when I say the CEO, it's just the head under the subscription admin. Once you go under the subscription admin, you go to the users, you select the user, for example, select this one. And if he has this hat, if you see over here, he or she will get the notification. Any other questions?
No, there's no questions in the chat, but yeah, anyone, if they want to jump in, you can either put it in the chat as a question and I'll read it out. And then if not, you want to put your hand up and talk, you're most welcome to do that as well. Thank you.
All good. I'll move to the next one, which is option to select the location while adding a new case file. So earlier in the 3.7.5 release, the user have to select a location first on the top of the system. And then when they are creating a new case file, the case file get created in the location. But now in this 3.7.6, you simply go to the client. You click on the folder section. You have this option over here on the top where it will show you all the locations where you want to create a new case file. So once you click on any location, you click on new case file, the system will show you a pop-up. Are you sure you want to open a new case file in this location? You click on OK. And then the system will automatically create the new case file in that location. So you don't have to actually select the location from the top first and then create a new case file and do all the process. You can simply click on the folder once you add in the participant, and then you have this new case file. And then you can proceed further with the funding allocation and with the intake page. Any questions on this one? Yep, all good. So the next one is 2 new columns, review date and document. Sorry, we got a question here. When adding a new case file for an existing participant, is it considered another inquiry? No, this is not considered as another inquiry. For the inquiry process, you still have to go to the new section and create the inquiry. Is that clear? Okay, all good. So let's move to the another enhancement, which is the 5th one. 2 new columns, review date, and the document tags added on the case attachment page. Okay, let's move to. So we have added a new 2 columns on the case attachment page. So whenever the user is trying to attach any case attachments from the system, we have this new section called review date and document tag, which I'll jump into the system and I'll show you now. Yeah. So this is the client profile. I'll simply go to the case details. Here you see the 5th tab, which is case attachments. You click on this one. When you simply click on the add case attachments, you select the list. And here the system will auto-populate the name of the resource who is attaching the document. And it also shows you the attachment date when the attachment was added in the system. You can also add the review date. For example, this one, test, and then I can also attach any documents over here. Close, click on save. So it will get attached over here. I haven't attached anything as of now, so it's showing empty. So the attachments will appear here. And then if there are more attachments, you can simply see these two sections, review date and the document tag, under the history of the case attachments. So this review date and the document tab is coming from this section. Test document, document tag, and then the review date. Any questions? All good. I'll move to the next one. So just give me a second. So we have this new participant clearance expiry report where the system will show you all the clearance for the resources. Whatever you add in the system, for example, if the resource has taken the flu vaccine or if the resource has the police clearance check, we have a new report in the system under the subscription admin tab where you can see all the resources and all the participants as well, which have different kind of clearance reports. So I'll again jump into the system and show you in the system where it is available. On the left-hand side menu, you have the subscription admin. Just want to let you know this subscription admin is only accessible to few of the users who have the access to this section. For example, if you are a level 2 worker or if you have been given a hat of subscription admin or from online administrator, only then you will be able to see this section. The resources and the users won't be able to see this section. So it's totally dependent upon your business if they have given you access to this section or not. And only few people will be able to access this one. So this is the one. Here you can see everything, the clearance, police clearance. You can simply export the file as well from the bottom of the page. And if you want to filter by name, you can just filter it as well.
My name's Fabian. I'm calling from Richmond Fellowship, Tasmania, about a request that I've had to put an inquiry in.
1 second, I'll
the
just
service for a
actually
client
you'll have
with
to
a
unmute
case
yourself.
file.
1 second.
Yep.
Yeah, restricted access case.
Okay, unmute yourself now. I've just muted. I have a functionality to mute everyone in case someone doesn't realize that they're speaking to the group. So sorry about that, everyone.
That's okay. Can you hear me? Yep, sweet. All good.
Yeah.
So this is the report we have now. Any questions on this one? And just in case if you're wondering where to add the clearance, it's under the resources section. I'll show you this one as well. So you click on any resource, the professional profile. These are the police clearance, first check clearance, working with the children check, all kind of clearances added from this page. Again, this page will be visible only to the few users who have access to the subscription admin menu. So if you are not seeing this option, you might not be, you might don't have any access to this section. We have a question here from Damon. Will you be adding NDIS worker check to the list? Damon, for this one, you can create a new Mantis ticket in the system, and we'll check with the team if there is something like this will be included in the upcoming release. And the CR team will get back to you on this one. So any customized checks you want, you can raise a new ticket in the Mantis system, and the team will look into it, and then we can customize it. Any questions as of now? Can you make VGKS a little bigger so I can see it clearer, please? Yes, Christy, I'll zoom in. Just give me a second. Just let me know if it's okay now. Another question from Damon is, it is mandatory, so should be included for everyone. Damon, I'll check this with the team and I'll get back to you on this one for this check. Yeah, all good. So the next enhancement we have done is the case file exit reason. This is something which is configurable. So this can be open for the clients with a quotation. So this is not a generic functionality. All the other functionalities are generic, which I have explained recently. And this one, the case file exit reason is not is configurable. So if you want this functionality, this can be open for you with a quotation. The case file review exit is the section which will be included on the review case file section when you are trying to close a case file. So during the exit process of the case file, you will see these options to select an exit reason why the client has closed the case file and don't want to be a participant with the provider anymore. So we have different sections over here and the different labels over here, which you can choose to select the exit reason. And also the section will be available on the case searches menu as well. And it will appear as the exit reason on the reports. So again, I'll jump into the system and I'll show you it will be available. I'll just make it a bit bigger. Yeah, this one looks good. So under the searches section, you will see the case files and you will see the, just give me a second. Okay, so this will be available here, the section for the exit reason. We haven't updated this demos version, I guess. So once ever you upgrade your UAT with the new version, you will get the exit section. As I said, it's configurable, so we can open it with a quotation. So once the quotation is approved, we can open the section and the new section will appear on this section. After the exit date, you will see another section of exit reason. What was the reason the client has exited the case file? Any questions on this one? No? All good. I'll move further. Another question we have, if opening a case file is standard, why is exit reason something to quote for? Would this not be a standard as opening a case file? Damon, again, I'll check this with the team. There could be some reasons why we have this with a quotation. And the management will decide on this one. And I'll check with the team on this one so they can get back to you on this one. We are keeping notes for all the questions that has been asked during this session, and we will get back to you with all the questions we have on this one. All good. So we have another, sorry. Okay, all good. Any questions on previous one? If anyone have any questions? No, all good. Then the next one is the case file data reports under the search menu. So we have this new section added called data, which you can find out under the searches section. Just another question we have from Melinda. Okay, data exchange ducts may require the exit reason for CSP funding in the future. Sure, Melinda, we'll consider this one and I'll check with the team on this one so that we can have this for everyone. And we'll get back to you on this one. Yep, I'll just move to the next one. So we have this new case file data report under the searches section, where it will show you all the participants which have a different data as well. So you might see number of lines over here, not only one line. For example, a client could have multiple data as well. It could be a funding organization, it could be a other funding entity, or it could be a unknown funding entity as well. So I'll just quickly jump into the system to show you. This one is the generic one, so it will be available for everyone. Under the searches section, this is under the case file called case file data is over here. So you simply click on this one, and then you can simply select if you want to generate a new report for all the clients who have the data as funding organization. You can also export this to the CSV file and use it for various purposes. You can filter with the participant name, and then you can filter by data as well. Again, this section will be only accessible to few users as per their business. So you can check with your business why you are not able to see this searches section, and then you can have access to this case file data report. Any questions as of now? So this list really data list. Yes, so in this list you have the filter to select a different data. Yeah, it's not a data ledger, Chris. This is just a data list. So you have the actual filter. So if you want to see, okay, who are all the clients in VZK system who have the data set up as the NDIS, and then you can simply just filter and you will get the list of all the clients. Let's move to the next one. The next one is the ability to add the past dates for the quick charges on the plan new charge option. So in 375 version, when you create a new quick charge, you cannot select the past date. So you always have to select the future date from now onwards. But in the new 376, you have the ability to add the past date as well for the new quick charges. I'll quickly jump on the system to share. You go to the quick log. So see, earlier in 375, you won't be able to select these dates, for example, 15th of June or 40th of June, but now you have the ability to select the past date as well. Any questions on this one? So you can enter a recurring charge starting, say, 35th. Yes, that's correct, Chris. So you can add any past date, and the system will allow you to create any charges without any validations on that page. Any questions on this one? No, all good. The next one is the ability to generate the statement for services in a specified date range. So as per the client feedbacks, they were required to generate the account statements during a certain period. It's not always they want to have a weekly period, fortnightly period, or monthly or quarterly period. They would like to have a flexible date range. For example, I want to generate a statement from this month to the mid of next month. So from 16th of June, I would like to have, for example, till August maybe. Then you have the flexibility now to select the date range, and the system will allow you to select any date range from the start date and the end date, and the system will generate the reports. I'll quickly jump into the system to show you. Just give me a second. Yep. So for example, these are the account statements. Here you will see different period type, which is the first one is weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly. In 375, you only would have these four options. But in 376, now you have this flexible date range option where you can enter any start date and any end date. For example, I want to see the account statements from 1st of June to July mid. You can have the same filters. You just select the funding, you click on apply filter, the system will generate the reports from this date range. So it's a very good functionality to be flexible, generating the account statements if you're sending the account statement to the clients and to the participants. Any questions on this one? Thanks, Chris. We have a question from Anurag. Will system allow me to select dates outside of the case file start and end date? Yes. For the statements, you can have the flexible dates. So there is no validation on this one. You can select the dates outside the funding duration as well. Any other question? Will it count in public holidays? Yes, that's correct. It will count public holidays as well because these are just the account statements. So whatever the services will be provided on the public holiday as well, it will include everything in the date range. Any questions? Hope this is clear to you, Anro. If you have any questions, just let me know. All good. Then we'll move to the next one. This is one of the enhancements which I think everyone will like the most, which is ability to print the account statements in bulk for multiple clients. So if you don't want to generate the statements for just one client, we have the option to generate the statements for all the clients in bulk. So we got just another question from Ronnie. Will there be more than one drop-down menu for the support item number? Yes, it depends upon what funding has been selected for the client. So definitely, if there are more support line items selected for the client, you will see more items. It's not only one. So it depends upon actually the client's profile, what funding he has been allocated to. All good, Ronnie. So yeah, this is the one in which you can generate the statements in bulk for all the clients. You have the ability to select different funding as well. So I'll quickly jump into the system and I'll show you again on the system how it will look like. Just give me a second. So this will come up under the subscription admin as well. Over here, you will see there is a section on the bottom of the subscription admin, says account statement. You simply click on this one, then you have this feature over here. You will have the same filters you use for the individual account statement. So you can choose different filters to generate different reports. You can also select the funding. For example, I just want to see all the client statements who have the funding type 004, for example, or someone who have 002 as well. So I simply select the period. Again, you have the flexibility to select the date range over here as well. So I'll pick up any date from here. Maybe I'll just pick the May one. And just simply click on apply. So the system will generate the statements for all the clients who have this funding type. And then once you click on print, the system will automatically page break. So it's not like you will see all the statements together. For each individual statement, you will see the statement separately. For example, for this client, you will see a separate page. For this client, you will see a separate page. You can also remove this link over here. It's all depends upon your setting from here. Just in case I'm giving you another information. Sometimes the client say, okay, this link is not gone, and it's coming up every time whenever we are printing the statements. So this is the settings from your print section. You click on more settings, you select you don't want to see the headers and the footer. You click on save, it will remove the link from the statements. and you can then just download the statements for multiple clients at once. Any questions on this one? Is this functionality to print depend upon what browser is being used? Yes, that's correct, Anwar, you are right. Basically, on different browsers, you might don't have option to remove the header and footer as well. For example, on Chrome and I think on Firefox, you will see the option to remove the header and footer, but sometimes it could be if you're using Safari, you don't have the option to remove the header and footer. So it depends upon the browser. Thanks, Melinda. Yeah, it's a really good functionality, like to have the statements. If you are sending the statements to the clients and then you have to print everything together, it will save a lot of time. Yeah, all good. So I just move to the. So we have a question from Chris. I'm just reading his question. You can unmute yourself as well if the question is big, Chris. How is the opening balance calculated? Okay, that's a nice question, by the way. Yeah, so the reports will show you the opening balance from the start date. Even if the opening balance is $0, the system will show you $0 as well. Of the funding for the period you are selecting. For example, you are selecting the date period from June, and the system will check the opening balance from the June.
So just according to the date range that you have entered, is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay. So we just need to be mindful. And this is more process that generally there are multiple case. There's a separate case file for each plan. So depending on what you're using the statement for, then you might only be wanting to show the date range of within the current case file. You just have to be mindful if you're using the date range that covers multiple case files. You just need to be aware that that means across multiple plans, and yes, just be mindful of that. That's all.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Okay, thanks.
Cheers. Any other questions on that bulk statement?
Can I ask a question? It's Ronnie.
Yep.
Is there any way to not show the balance? Because, for example, a lot of the time we may get information that's not in a date range or outside of a date range, and we don't want that to actually appear on the statement. We only want the services that have been provided during that time frame to appear on the statement. We don't want all the ins and outs going, because that confuses the client.
The purpose of the account statements we've been using in busy cases to show the balance as well, because this is the one they send to the clients. But for sure, you can always raise a new ticket under the Mentis, and our team will have a look. If your system wants something customized, then we can definitely remove that section as well. So it has to go through a process. So the CR team, the change request team, will have a look if this is something which is feasible and if we can do this one.
Okay,
and
yeah.
then they will get back to you.
Yeah. Do other people use VisiCase as their accounting system? Because it's not the accounting system for us, for example. So that's why I ask about those negative balances showing, and we always get queries on there because it shows as a negative balance, because it looks like, or somebody hasn't paid, or then when we add in funding, It's perhaps outside of the date range that because the NDIA is always 3 or 4 months behind. So this is why it doesn't look accurate. Like the amounts that go in and out don't look accurate. So that's why I wondered if, the funding can be taken off the statement, because it was relatively new going onto it anyway. So it never used to have the new funding that is now going on and off, never used to be there. So that's why I asked that question.
And that's completely understandable. And this is how user want to use the VZKs. They could have a third-party software for their management, even for their HR perspective as well. So it's completely depend upon the user. But again, as I'm saying, like I'll check on this one with the team if we can customize this for your business maybe, and then we will get back to you. Because different businesses have different ways to use the VZK system and how they want to see the things in the VZK system.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, all good. Any other questions? Nope, all good. We'll just move to the next one. So we have hide the budget service button and the graph from the budget forecast page, which was available in 375. And this is the old look. When you select the client case details and you go to the budget forecast section, this was the graph which was visible earlier, but in 376, this is not available anymore. So this was the old one. I'll just zoom in a bit if it's not visible. Sorry, just yeah. So this is the new one which does not have the graph. And this is the old one. So it's just the enhancement from the client's feedback to not having the graph in the budget forecast section. So it's just a small enhancement. If you have any questions, just let me know. No? Okay. Does anyone want to see where the budget forecast section is, or I can jump into the system and straight away I can show you where it is. If you want, just give me a second. Yeah. You select the client, you go to the case details, you go to the budget plan. This is the budget forecast page. This is how it will appear now. Okay, let's move to another one. The next one is the ability to skip the public holidays when generating a recurring services on quotation. So this is the new enhancement on the inquiry section when you create the quotation for the clients. So what was happening earlier is, like, for example, you are generating a quotation for any client, and then there is some recurring actions which have to go through for a year, and then there are so many public holidays in between. And then on those days, the client does not want to receive the services, but the system still generates the quotation as per the public holidays included, and the public holidays could have a different rate as well. So we have added this new section under the quotation area when you create a new inquiry for the client, which says public holidays. You want to exclude the public holidays, or you want the public holidays only. So if you select exclude the public holidays and you create a recurring series, for example, from 4th of June to 28th of June, and the 14th of June was the Queen's birthday, which is a public holiday. If you select this one, the system will not consider this one, and the system will only create the quotation for the 4 repeats during this period. So this is a very good functionality. So the system will generate accurate quotation for the client, which can exclude the public holidays, and then you can send the quotation to the client.
So there's a question about the public holiday function. So it's from Chris. How is the public holiday table managed? There are no public holidays in 2022 in VisiCase yet.
Definitely, Chris. We'll always update the public holidays in the system as per the region you are. For example, if you are in New South Wales, we'll update the calendar to New South Wales. So this is the section over here under the sysadmin. This is not visible to the clients, but these are the section and the table of public holidays, which will show you all the public holidays currently in the system. And I think you can access this public holiday from search section. Yeah, so this table is, I'm not sure if this section is accessible to anyone. It could be accessible to the system administration of VisiCase. For example, like the users who have the higher level of access in the system, they will have access to this section where they can simply see this public holiday section, and they can straight away jump and see, okay, these are the public holidays currently, and these are the 2022 holidays over here. So currently it's not set up for 2022, but this will be included in 2022 as well. And it will also get updated as per your region. So if you are ACT or if you're in Queensland, it gets updated as per your region. Just in case, if you think there is any missing public holiday, you can always let us know. We can straight away create a new public holiday in the system. Any questions on this one? Need 2022 public holiday soon. Can you explain public holiday only function again? Yes, Chris, I will. So you can create additional ones for local public holiday, example, show days or regional, not statewide. Yes, Connor, that's correct. So we do have a list where we generate from the, I think, government website about the public holidays, and then we upload the public holidays in the system. But definitely, yes, just in case if we miss anything, that wouldn't be a case, but just in case if you said, for example, show days are for the regional areas, you can always get back to us, okay, this is missing, and we can generate the public holiday in the system. And Chris, I'll show you again how to manage the public holidays. So under the sysadmin section, you go to the public holidays, this one, and then you will have the list of all the public holidays which are included in the system as of now. You can select the year as well. If you want to see 2022 calendar, you will see the 2022 calendar as well in the system. The question is from Melinda. Is there an approximate date when 2022 public holiday list will be uploaded? Melinda, once you update your UAT, we'll definitely upload this 2022 public holiday catalogs. I'll keep a note on this one, and we'll upload the 2022 catalog. Sorry, public holiday section on this one. Okay, we have a question from Charlene. Could you show me where to generate the code again? Is this the same way for when the roasting team to add shifts, they can do the public holiday function? Charlene, no. This is the quotation section when you create a new inquiry for a client, when a new client comes to you and say, okay, what can you do for me? What are the, okay, I want these services, and what will be the quotation for me? How much you will charge me, and all those things. So I'll show you quickly how you can create the quotation. So this is the new create new section over here on the left hand side menu. You click on the inquiry section. You select the date, you select the inquiry method, okay, it comes online, and then you select if it's an existing participant or if it's a new participant, and you have the option to select various sections as well. So if I select the existing one, I'll just quickly select anyone. So it's about the new service. This is the section where you will create the quotation for the client. So if you click on yes, you had the option to add a new quotation, and this is the section where For example, I'll select, okay, he wants to inquire about this 004 section. And then you will see all the items over here. Just pick one. If it's a recurring one, this is the section where you will see. This is the new functionality we have added in the system. So if you exclude the public holidays, and if you are creating a recurring series for a year, for example, and in a year there are like 10 or 15 public holidays, for example, the system will then exclude the public holidays and generate the quotation as per normal, excluding the public holidays. Any questions on this one?
Yeah, sorry, it's Chris. When I was looking at that screen before, I thought we were looking at the recurring charges screen. You were actually looking at the quote screen, weren't you?
Yes, that's correct. That's the quote screen.
Have you ever thought about putting that functionality on recurring charges screen?
Because we don't have this recurring, the exclude public holiday functionality on the recurring actions, because I think quotation is something when you are just getting an estimation for the services and the client would never proceed further with you. But when you create an action for a client, you already know, okay, the client is happy to receive the delivery on the public holidays. But during the quotation section, you ask the client, okay, do you want to include the public holidays or you don't want to include the public holidays?
Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking of quick logs.
Oh, the quick logs.
Yeah.
Currently, as of now, there is no section to include, but for the quick logs, yes, I can check. I understand. Yes, quick logs.
Yeah, I don't know about the others, but given the way we have to set up SIL claiming now, it just would be very useful, because currently then we create the recurring charges from here till next year, Monday to Friday.
Yeah,
and then go back and cancel those, and then create the ones for the public holidays instead. So,
no, yeah, that's
yeah.
That completely makes sense. Yeah, I understand. I'll take a note on this one, and I'll check with team on this one. Okay, Chris.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you. What can be done here?
Yeah.
Yep. Any questions on this one? No questions. So I'm just checking if I have missed any questions from anyone. Okay. Yep, I think it's all good. If anyone have any questions on this one, just let me know. What happens when participants change their mind? Sorry, Shalin. I didn't get that and want the public holiday support, like for the shifts. You can always select the public holidays. So it's just the quotation thing. So this is the thing which you actually send to the clients. Okay, you're giving an estimate value to the clients. Okay, this is how much it will charge. But when client has accepted and is actually in the VZK system and start getting the services, you will have the option to select the public holiday services as well. So it's not like if you're excluding the public holidays, it will not appear when you are creating the charges for the client. The charges for the public holiday will always be there when you are creating a new action, new group activity, or new charge. So it will be a part of the funding catalog. If the user is eligible for that funding item, the public holiday section will always be there. Once you click on exclude public holidays, it does not mean that it's excluding the public holidays from the catalog as well. So this is just a quotation area. Hope this might be clear. All good. Any other questions? No? All good. I'll just verify that. The next one is the improvements in the layout and filtering option for the participants and resource alert search. So under the alert section, we have these new filter sections where it will show you all the alerts for the participants as well as the resource as well. So you can simply select the type of the alert and you can filter the alerts as well. So I'll just quickly show where it exists. Okay, this is the system, and under the searches section, you will see we have this section called alerts. Just give me a second. This one, the third one from the bottom of the section, says alerts. It will give you the list of all the alerts created in the system. And then you can select, okay, if it's the alert is for participant or for the resource as well. So if there are any alerts set up for the resources, you have the ability to select the type of the alert. And then if you select the resources, the system will generate the list of all the resources and what alerts they have. And you can simply export the file to the CSV as well. So you don't have to go to the individual section. Okay, I want to see this participant is allergic to the nuts or maybe something else. And then you just want to generate a list. For example, I want to see for Adam, okay, what alerts he got. He got alert title as a fear of dogs or allergy to the nuts. So you don't actually have to go to the section. You can simply see what is the, you can also filter by priority. So if there is any alerts with the urgent priority, you can simply select the priority and it will show all the clients who have these alert types. And then you can simply export the file as well. Any questions on this one? No, all good. So now coming towards the next functionality, which is the new category field edit if the task type is selected as other while creating a resource task on the calendar page. So we have added this new functionality under the resource profile. When you are trying to create a new task for the resource, we have added this section called category, where you can select different category for the resource for any task he has been given. If the resource has to attend any event, any webinar, or any training, or any group function, you can simply go to the resource profile and select the category for the resource. Also, again, I'll jump into the system and I'll show you where it appears. So the resources section comes up from under the subscription admin. And once you go to the subscription admin, you go to the workers, the fourth section under the subscription details. You click on the workers, you select any resource you want to create a task for him. You go to the calendar section. You click on the add new task. And then if you select other, the system will generate another category and then you can select different label as well. So if he's going to attend the team meeting, if he's going to attend the training, if he's going to attend the group function, and then this will appear on the resource calendar. You can click on validate and save, and it will save the calendar event, and it will appear on the calendar section. Any questions on this one? Does the resource see this task on the mobile view as well? I'm not really sure if there is any changes being made on the mobile view. I think there has been no changes made in the mobile view as of now, and this calendar task will also. I'll actually check on this one because I'm not really sure as well on this one. I'll check on this one, Melinda, if the calendar task will appear on the mobile's to-do list as well or not. But just give me a second. Yeah, I'll check on this one and I'll get back to you. Another question for Melanie is there a Melinda, okay, I may have submitted an issue on this. That's good, Melinda. I'll have a look on the Mantis if you have already raised this one, and we'll check. I think it should show, but it's on the mobile view as well. So yeah, I'll check on this one. The question is from Melanie. Is there a report to show other tasks? Yes, Melanie, we do have a report to show all the tasks created for all the resources as well. I'll quickly show you that one. Just give me a second. So I'll quickly show you from the system. On the left-hand side menu, you will see this section called Jobs Management. Under this section, you will see the calendar task report over here. So once you click on this one, the system will check all the resources who have been given any calendar task. And you can also select the filter by type, for example, per location or per worker. If you want to see from location, for example, per location, you want to see all the tasks and all the resources who are created in that location. Or if you want to see as per the worker, you can also select the period for what period you want to see. You want to see the pay period which is going on, or you want to select a date range. If you want to select any start date or the end date. And then if I click on this one, check from all locations, and so currently I don't have any data in this demo session, but I'll check if there is per program anything I found. Okay, yeah, I haven't created any tasks. So under this report section, you will see all the calendar task reports for all this resources. I'll quickly show you in the presentation. I have the screenshots. Yep. On this one, once you filter it, you have the data. You will have all the locations. You will have the from date, end date, and then you have the category as well. What category has been selected? And this is how it will appear on the system. No worries, Melanie. We have another question from Damon. Would a calendar task show on the roster for a worker? Yes, on the desktop roster view, it will appear. So it will show you the tasks over there as well. But just to let you know, the optimization engine does not consider the task. For example, if the user had a task on 22nd of May, and then you are trying to roster him on 22nd of May, the system will not check that this resource have given a task on this day. So you will still be able to allocate that resource for any services. For any action, for any group activity, the resource will appear and does not restrict the resource to being allocated. So it's totally up to the user or the client or the team leader if he or she wants to allocate that resource, even though if he have any group activity or any team meeting or any other category selected. Any questions on this one? All good. We have another question from them. Is the calendar task color coded on the roster? How does it appear? I think it will appear as normal, maybe in a yellow color, but I'll still check on this one with the team, and I'll get back to you, Damon, on this one, how it appears on the roster page. Yeah, because it does not have the impact on the optimization. I'll still check if it appears on the roster or not, because what I think is, like, for example, if something is not coming up from the optimization engine, it could be possible that it's not be there on the roster page as well. So I'll check on that one, how it functions, and I'll get back to you on this one. So the next one is the incident report enhancement to support the NDIS regulation to inform commission within 24 hours if a particular incident has occurred. So as per the NDIS, there have been some instances where you have to report to the NDIS. For example, if something happened during the incident report, if there is a death or some serious injuries during the incident report, so we have included a new section under the incident report, which is available on the desktop view. We have also added a new mandatory section for this one, which says, was there a child or a young person involved during the incident report? So if you click on yes or no, this is the mandatory field, so you cannot skip this section. This is as per the NDIS regulation, you have to select during the incident reports if there is any child or if there is any young person involved in the incident report. Also, we have a new reportable incident checklist now, which is also driven by the NDIS. For example, this section will only appear when you select the incident severity. So there is actually a no validation, does not matter like which incident severity you choose, even if it's a minor severity or if it's catastrophic. Once you click or select the severity of the incident, this section will automatically trigger. Just wondering when we will get to the group action function changes. Just wondering when we will get to that. I think this is the last one, and the next one is the group functionality. Chris. Yep, this once you click on this one, and then this section will appear, then you have to select this one. And this reported incident checklist, if any of the user have selected yes for any one of this section, the email notification will be sent to the user who will have the CEO hat. Again, the CEO hat is given from the subscription admin and then user section, where you can give the access to the person as CEO. So if there is any user who select any of this section as yes, the email notification will send to the CEO straight away. Again, this is the auto notification section. So once you click any of the section as yes on the previous one, this section, the notification will be sent to the CEO, the user who will have the CEO hat. Once you click on submit, it will move further, and then it will also appear on the incident report section. So the new column has been added on the incident report section, which is available under the searches section. Once you click on the searches on the last section, you will see the incident report, which has the new column called reportable incident. So if any of the user have selected any of the section which I previously mentioned says yes, and then it will show yes over here as well on the incident reports. Any questions on this one? No? Okay. The next one is we have created a new tick boxes which are added on the user profile. So for example, what was happening is under the searches section on this one, I'll just quickly jump into the system to get more clarification on this one. So this searches section, I think most of the users will have access to this one. All the team leaders can access to this one as well, the searches section, and they can have access to all the incident reports as well. So once they click on the incident reports in 375, what was happening is, does not matter if they have access to that incident report or not, they still will be able to see the incident reports. And then we have this new functionality in the system now. For example, if I select, just give me a second, I'll go to the worker sections. And then if I pick any resource, and then I'll go to the subscription details. Yeah. I'll select the users. I'll pick any worker. Yep. And we have this new section over here, new tick boxes called major and moderate severity incident report access. So if the user has access to this one, if you click yes on this one, only then the user will have access to all the major and the moderate severity incident reports from the searches section. Earlier, on the searches section incident report, any user could have access to any of the incident reports. Does not matter if it's a moderate, minor, and if he have the access to the incident reports or not. But then if now the user don't have the access to this one, he or she will not be able to see the incident report for the severity types, major and moderate. So you have to go to the user, select the user, okay, give him the access. You can see major and moderate incident reports as well. Then if the user tries to go to the searches section and go to the incident reports, he or she will be able to see the incident reports of the severity type, major and moderate. Any questions on this one? No? All good. This is, I have already explained. Now coming to the main functionality of the system, I can see the smile on Chris. Okay, this is the one which is the shareable group activity between the clients. Firstly, they are still want to let all the clients know that we are not very sure on the functionality. For example, we've been trying to contact the NDIS for the actual life scenarios, what could happen, during the shareable group activity, and there are not clear, I'll say, documents given by the NDIS so that we can develop in the system. So we have done our best to have this group shareable functionality, and I'll explain you how it works in the system now. So these are the few slides which I have created in the system for the group activity enhancements, how it works. But what I will do as of now is I'll go and jump into the system straight away, and I'll create new group activity there, and I'll show you how it works over there. Just to let you know, I'll provide this presentation to everyone. So if anyone wants to go through the presentation, you can straight away go and jump to the group activity section. All the information is given in the manuals as well. And I have also created the FAQ section on this one. I'll just quickly jump. You will see this section as well, the FAQ. If you have any questions, it might be included in this section as well. We have different FAQ questions on this one. Okay, so I'll straight away jump into the group activity shareable section, and I'll show you from the system. If you have any questions, just let me know and I'll answer the question straight away. Okay. Also, just want to let you know, this is the different environment I'm using. So, and different access as well. So it depends upon what access level you have, and the buttons will appear, how the buttons will appear in the system. So if there is any buttons which is missing in the system, I'll jump into the screenshot and I'll show you how it appears on the system, basically. Okay. So under the group activity session, you click on the group activities. I want to create a new group activity now, which is shareable. So you have to select the program first, in which program you have to create the group activity. For example, like select disability services. Now, if you see there is no, if you don't select anything over here, and if you select no as shareable group activity, you don't need to define the participant services or any shareable participant at first. So if you select on no, the group activity will work similar to the one which we are using at the moment, like which is available in 375. No changes, nothing has been done if you select no. But if you select yes, the system will auto pre-populate the services section, and then you have to predefine the services for the clients. Now, if I select this one, and then I would say workshop is the group activity name, program, test, I'll quickly select the start date and the end date. For example, let's pick for 12:45 to 2 p.m. Yeah, sweet. I'll create one off as of now, and I'll select the group activity coordinator as well. Okay, where it's going to happen, it's going to happen in the program. If you want, you can define the cost for the individual session as well. For example, if they have to bring $5, you can add $5 here. You can also select the costing type. It's the price per session per participant. If it's a total price per participant, for example, if they're going for a movie, they have to carry some money with them. I'll keep it empty, this one. I'll select what kind of workers. For example, this is basically for the roasting the workers to a group activity. I'll select any as of now. If there are any skills required for the group activity, I simply select nothing as of now. If there is any additional skills required for the resource, how many resource I want to allocate, I simply add 2. If there are any plane, break, and allowances for the group activity, you can simply select yes, and you can add all the details. Everything is similar to the 375 version. And then again, define the participants. Okay, the participants going to be from any program. Now here is the thing. If you select the funding 2018 catalog, because the shareable items are only available in this section. And I think as of now, there is only 004, which is eligible for the shareable funding services. Yeah, once you select this one, the system will populate, and then all the blue highlighted service lines are the ones which are shareable. So all the black ones that are not shareable, and all the blue ones are the ones which are shareable as of now. This is given by the NDIS. So if I select any shareable activity, the total amount of the unit price is 54.3, and this is the duration. If you want to add the TTP, you can add the TTP as well. I click on calculate. So the cost before the variation was 67.88, and after the variation it was 71.95. The system will round off the figures to the 2 decimal places as per the NDIS. And then here is the calculation logic where it happens. So the calculation logic as of now is the service line price rate, which is this one, by number of participants times the number of workers and the number of hours as of now. This is the logic given by the NDIS. So if I select on how many participants it's going to attend, for example, I select 4, and then how many workers it's going to have, I'll select 2. The system will do all the calculations, and once I click on submit, the system will take few seconds to generate the new group activity. Now the group activity has been created, and now you will see the buttons are here, and you can also allocate. You just need to select this section. The system can generate the new optimized list for you. The system has automatically generated the resources. You can also select any other resource if you want, and you click on allocate. Now the resources have been allocated. I just click on the refresh, and both have been allocated. Just give me a second. Yep. So now both the resources have been allocated. Ivona is for the first one, and the Kate is for the second one. And now I'll go to the participant tab to enroll the participants now to the group activity. Once you click on the participant section, the system will show you the service lines which have been selected earlier. This is the service line. It will show you, okay, the total cost will be 71.95. And then now you have to enroll the participants into the group activity. You click on the enroll participant, the system will automatically check all the eligible participants who are eligible for that funding type and who can be enrolled in this group activity. So if you are expecting that the client who does not have 004 funding will appear here, that wouldn't be the case here. So you have to make sure the client have the correct funding setup 004, and it's eligible, and it has the open case file, correct funding start date and correct funding dates. It should be within the funding duration as well, and then the resource will appear here. I'll select for participants. Okay, this is the share price it will show. I selected number of participants as 2, and then just give me a second. Yeah, I selected the participant as 2, and then system automatically did the calculation. That's the total number of unit price by number of participant times number of workers. The system did the calculation, and it will show, okay, this will be the rate variation after you apply the TTP for each client. You click on enroll. The system will enroll the participants now. So it's currently waiting for the due date, and then you will see this was the total amount, this was the shareable price, this will be the price which the client has to pay, and the client will be charged for the service.
We have 2 questions. What I'm thinking is maybe we will stop here, answer the 2, and then keep going because it can be.
Sure.
So do you want to go through them, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I'll have it. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
all right.
Anurag. Is it hard coded in the system that the user can only select shareable service items for a group activity? So it is a hard coded in the system that the user can only select. Anuruv, I'm not sure if I get it correctly, but it's not hard coded. So you have the ability to select, for example, yes or no, if that's what you mean. Otherwise, you can unmute yourself and can explain me maybe.
Yep, thanks, Akshit. The question is, you know, the blue line item that you showed for a group activity. Can I choose a line item which is like 101, or can I choose any line item which is non-shareable in a group activity?
Can I jump in there? So the first service line where we were showing that the blue lines were there highlighted, that will be a hard validation. So only in that area would the users be able to select only the blue ones that are highlighted. But the additional cost, if you wanted to put a one-on-one charge, including within the shared costing, you can do that in the additional service line area. So you don't have to do a group activity and then do a separate quick log or a separate activity. You can put it all together, and it will show like the standard the shared charges will be in the shared charges, and then the non-shared charges will show you as well what is their individual charge.
So would I be creating a one group or one item? So for example, the one that we are looking at there Wednesday that Akshit is showing, right?
Yeah.
So we have 2 clients in one group activity there, right?
Yep.
Can one client, which is Sam, have 2 individual line items, one shareable and one 101 within the one item?
Good question. I believe that you can add in the individual sessions, but when you're creating a group, if you have the shared group line item and then have an additional individual one, when you create it that way, that would be applicable to all enrolled participants. It is flipping it a little bit on its head because of the way that the NDIS has changed or is changing, transitioning to the group. So yeah, so to answer that question, yes, when you create a group activity with the shared line item, service line item, and then add the additional one, it will be applicable to all enrolled participants. You can't separate the single charge unless I think you can do it on a session basis.
Okay, so that's something, Chris, that that our operations team would have to just obviously test and validate, please.
Yeah, if I know what you're saying, is that they'll be in a group, and then lunchtime they need one-on-one, and then there'll be another group in the afternoon. I suspect it's going to mean, it's basically three claimable shifts, if you like, in the one day. I guess, I don't know, but
yeah, from a labor perspective, I'm just thinking from how many clicks per day. But anyways, Jen, please continue, mate. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. We have a question from Charlene that we have another year to use the old pricing method. Yes, that's correct, Charlene. So NDIS have extended the period of use. So you still have another 1 year to use it.
Yes, but also in the sense of the system had to be prepared. If users did want to move on to the new price guide, we are prepared for the functionality within the system rather than you doing it manually. This function should allow that hopefully allow the transition to happen when you are ready. There was another question, Akshit, if you want to answer it, but it was, what if the group consists of clients from more than one funding source, e.g. 3 NDIS clients plus 3 cost clients? So obviously a different funding, maybe cost. I'm not sure exactly what cost is, sorry, but
yeah, cost is the funding for those who are over 65.
Yeah, so. Thank you, Chris. That's where it comes down to all these different scenarios. So definitely put that in our feedback price, because realistically, this functionality was purely only for the NDIS clients. That's why we've given the yes or no function at the beginning. And in the checks that what the system does is checking the NDIS regulations and rules and the logic that they've given. I wouldn't, at this stage, we'll have to say to you that I wouldn't show the ability to actually have different clients from different funding. But again, it would be more of a feedback, a scenario that we actually haven't thought of. So
yeah, it's basically, I mean, you've got the group of 6 in that case, so you've got to take into account the 3 COS clients when calculating the rate that needs to be
yeah,
reduced to for the other 3.
yeah. So the other 3 would take the shared cost as well. Is that what you're saying, Chris? Or would they have a separate?
They don't generate a claim. They're just different. They're
Okay.
block funded. Yeah, so they don't need to generate a claim out of VisiCase, but they just need to be recorded that they participated for a number of reasons, but obviously for this, ensure the correct calculation of the claim for the 3 NDS clients.
Yeah, okay. Well, definitely could you make a note if you did have like any feedback for version 6 and make a note of that one? Definitely we would have to look at what the process would be in those kind of situations for you.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. We have another question. Actually, you're okay for me to answer these group activities?
Definitely. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just double checking. All right. So one of the questions is, if after the group is created, if more participants are enrolled, will the system automatically adjust the price per attendee? Now, this is one of the frequently asked questions. We've got one of these questions in the preview session, but I'm definitely happy to discuss this in this training session. So what the system will actually do is, if what is created might be 2 participants and the 2 support workers, just for my easy math in my head, and then, you know, in a week or 2, there might be a 3rd person that comes as a one-off or ongoing. What the system will actually do is keep the original price that was created at creation stage. And then what will happen is at approval stage, it will allow, which we'll go through the steps, but it will allow the users to kind of play around with the figures. Some of the feedback that we had was we want to keep the original price that was originally there in the beginning, and we don't want to override it if something happens. But at approval stage, the users can recalculate with that additional person or participants coming into that group activity. In the preview as well, I know who did attend, I know that not everyone attended, but in the preview sessions, we did mention that you could go back and amend the calculation logic. Remember when we're going through the new areas, when you're doing creation of the new shareable group activity, you could go back and amend. But after the 2 weeks since that preview session, we have had feedback internally and also from the clients who have tested this before the training that it actually wasn't calculating right. Now, that is because, unfortunately, VisiCase didn't get as much information of all the scenarios. So when we applied that amend button, the NDIS didn't really give us the outcome of what should happen. So for now, what VisiCase is doing is collecting all the feedback, but actually not allowing that calculation logic to be amended after it's created, because it is causing some calculation issues, and the total of the charge is not correct. But in saying that, we want to be transparent, but in saying that, at approval stage, you can recalculate due to more or less participants attending. If you had to, you know, enroll a lot more participants and it's gonna cause some issues on saying, well, my approver doesn't have that knowledge, or they can't just keep changing it at approval stage. What our advice right now, just for the time being, would be is to recreate that group again with the new resources or the new participants. Any new data, if it's going to be long term, my advice would be saying just to cancel the original one and recreate the new one. But that's just a temporary outcome. This is just the feedback we've got, the time frame that we have. We're just wanting to be completely transparent with the NDIS not giving us much, it makes it a little bit difficult. But we hope that with your testing, you can understand where we're coming from on when you need to do things and make that business decision when you want to recreate the new group. So that's my long answer to that question, but it is also in the frequently asked questions if you need to just refer back to a very simplified explanation. Going down as well, just a add-on to that question was same if the participants cancel, will the system readjust and you know, cost per participant? Now, if there's two cancellations that we can think of, is the short notice cancellation and the cancellation fully with notice. What the system will do, it will highlight both types of cancellations. What the system will also do is keep the original hourly rate, but at approval, you will be able to see, okay, that's a short notice cancellation, again, organisation decision, but that's 100% technically under the NDIS regulations. I'm going to still charge them that, but there was a cancellation, you know, with more than 48 hours notice. I don't want to charge my attending participants the extra amount. I'm going to keep it the same. But if you choose to charge the extra amount and you say, no, we have to make this business decision, we have to now split it between the attending participants, the chargeable participants, you can recalculate at the approval stage and it will do it for you. So hopefully that answers that one. I'm just going through, there's a few questions that's come through the chat, so I'll just go through them one by one. Will the ratio amount change if the participants cancel with significant notice? Yep, that's the question I just went through, but again, I think it's in also the frequently asked questions, which is a goodie. We'll have another year to, yes, so we've already done that. Sorry, just skimming through. Is it possible, so there's another question, is it possible to have a different shared rates within the same group? For example, the group is, there is one staff member with 3 customers and one staff member for 2 customers. At this stage, what the system will have to have is 2 separate groups for that if you want to be charging at different rates. So obviously with the 1 on 3 and the 2 1 on 2, that would be technically 2 separate groups. We can't mush them or merge them together at this stage. It is purely the way that the calculation can handle it is only one calculated group can take the logic. So hopefully we have that for now. Again, we are all about feedback and what is physically and ably possible for the system to do, and to make your lives a little bit easier is what we are aiming for. So that is that one, Melanie. Then going next to the next question. If we are unable to amend it, then if a participant cancels with notice, we need to recalculate because the charges will be different for participants who did attend. So it depends on how long your calculation, how long your cancellation will be. If it's an ongoing cancellation and they're never going to come back to your group, I understand that if we can't amend it, you'll have to recreate the group to make sure that the budgeted, the planned, and the delivered and the approved come off the budget. But again, it comes down to a business decision. If you don't want to do the extra clicks by cancelling the original and redoing another one and re-enrolling everyone who is attending, you can always recalculate it at the approval stage. It will always show that cancelled participant if you've cancelled for the rest of the sessions. But in saying that as well, it is something that is on the top of our priority list to see how we can allow it to work, because we did have it, but it just wasn't working. And the last thing we need is a function that's not, yeah, just one moment. Sorry, just one moment. Sorry, Akshit, I'm just having a bit of an emergency here in the ACT. I'm going to have to leave this presentation. Again, I do apologize. This is my baby, actually. We've worked really hard on this group activity. I'm going to hand over to you, Akshit, and I will answer any questions that come through for groups and it can't be answered in this session. I will do my best to get back to everyone who have the questions. Okay.
That's okay.
Right. So sorry.
All right. No, that's all right. All good. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, I'll continue to answer the questions because I think Jen is the one who was continuously communicating with the NDAS people, and then they were providing the information as well. Because in real life, there could be like so many scenarios for the group activities. Okay, if someone comes in again, or like so many real life scenarios, then we have to consider it and implement in the system. And but sometimes being a product, I think it would be it get hard for us as well if we don't have the proper specification from the DIS and the proper information as well, so that we can actually implement the logic. Okay, what's going to happen and how it will happen. So as far as we have done, we have pretty much, I think, considered all the scenarios. But just in case, all these questions that have been asked in the chat section, we will have a discussion on this one. And for example, Damon is saying that it's a nightmare for our group ratios because their group ratios change frequently until the group departs. I completely understand the scenarios, and I'll keep a note on this one. I will do some discussion internally, and we'll see what we can do to provide you the best solution on this one for the group activities one. I'll keep these questions as of now pending. So we'll get back to you on all these questions. I'll just move in and finish this approval stage so that you can, at least we can finish this one. And then all the feedback is most welcome. You can always just send us an email with any feedback. Okay, this could be the real life scenario. Then we'll try to implement that real life scenario in the system. That could be possible. All good. So here I just enrolled 2 participants as of now. So I will see this attendance section over here because the group activity is already due. It started at 12:45, and then I have the attendance button over here. I'll just quickly go, and has the participant confirmed the delivery services? I click yes. I click on submit. Okay, he has attended. This one is waiting for approval now. I click on this one. Okay, has received this services, has attended, and then I click on submit as well. So I'll just quickly refresh the page again. So you don't actually have to refresh the whole web page. You can simply refresh this page. So it will be shown in correct status. For example, waiting for approval. Then we have both the clients waiting for approval now. Now you can approve as well. And for the workers as well, I'll just go to the worker tab as well. So you can mark the attendance for both of them as well. From this page, attended, you can add the timesheet, you can add any note for them if there are any break and allowances taken. You want to send this for approval. If you select no, this will automatically get approved. And then again with this one, with the resource, no, yes. You can recalculate the durations. You click on submit. It's basically the similar process we've been doing in 375, like approving the timesheet for the resources and the participants. Now you see we have this waiting for approval come up, so you can now approve participation. So once you come here, you cannot actually approve unless this participant attended the share group activity. Therefore, his attendance will need to be approved in bulk. So you actually have to approve the participation for all the clients in bulk first. You cannot go individually and approve the participation because this is a shared activity. You have to make sure you approve for all the participants first, and then you have to you can move further. So for the approval process, we will see over here on the bottom of the group activities, we will see this approval section over here. You click on this approval section, you select participants. Okay, these were the 2 participants. You bulk approve. You can also check as well if there is any adjustment that needs to be made. So this is the adjustment page. If you want to change the rate per hour for any client, for example, this section is totally dependent on the user. So this is how they want to charge the client. For example, if they want to charge the client more, they can charge the client more. It's totally dependent. And it's free enterable. So we are not actually restricting any of the user to not to include any other information in this page. Again, this is totally upon a user, how they want to approve the items, with what charge they want to approve the items. And if there are a number of participants that has been agreed, this is the section where you can change the number of participants. I think someone has asked the question in the chat section. You can also include the number of participants in the approval section. So instead of 5, it's if there are 2. So this is the initial one. I selected the number of participants as 2, and then the number of workers as 2. Then you can change as well. Once you've done that, you go here, you click on approval. Are you sure you want to approve all the participation charges? I select okay. Boom. Now all the charges have been approved. So again, you can redirect to the group activities. Okay. This is the one I created. And then if I go to the participant tab now, you will see these charges have been approved. And once you have approved, you can also unapprove the charges. You can see the detailed view of this page as well. For the participant, you can check the overview page as well. You can check the group activity overview as well. So it will show you everything on this page. Because once the charges has been approved, it will come up into the interface file where you will see the file in the interface. So I'm not sure if like different clients use different functionalities. So a few of the client use our interface system as well, where it gets generated in the system. So if I have approved this one, if I do any test run, it will come up in the interface, and then you can claim this from the NDIS, the shared prices. Again, coming back to the group activities, you can also approve the workers' attendance. So you just click on workers, and then you see this has been approved as well. And this approval section will come up here as well. So from this approval page, you will have both the functionality for the participant as well and for the worker as well. So it is basically the shareable group activity. If you have any questions, just let me know on this one. I'll quickly jump to the presentation. I think that's all. We do have the FAQ questions which have been frequently asked, and we have included everything in this one. But all the questions that has been asked in the chat, we'll try to include all these questions in this FAQ document as well with the answers. And any feedback about the group activity, what could be a real life scenario, you can always raise a ticket. You can let us know, and we'll have a look at this one. Any questions as of now? Anyone, any questions?
Yeah.
I think we'll come back to you with lots of questions once we start testing.
Yeah, definitely, Enroll. Yeah,
Pretty sure.
I know, because even this one for us, like there could be like a lot of scenarios again, and it was pretty hard for us to implement like all these scenarios, because you can play around with the calculations and it could mess up other things as well.
Yeah.
Because if we are getting enough information from the NDS, we can implement strict rules in the code and then we can implement the system. But we've been asking NDS if you can give us a scenario, what could is eligible and how the user can actually claim the prices from the client.
I think
so that
you're
we
asking
can implement.
somebody. I think you guys are asking somebody who doesn't know.
Exactly right.
So I just had few questions, but I will not ask them yet until we see the code, we test it or whatnot. Regarding the
Yeah.
the more notifications or less notifications inside incident report, it's a bit clunky already in our end. But I would like to
Okay.
understand that more, and I would look at Konglei to give me more update on that in fullness of time. But so the user manual, the updated user manual will have all the change functionality inside incident report functionality.
Yes, that's correct. So all the new functionality has been updated in the UAT. So we just need to update your UAT environments, and all the documents are ready as well. Just for the UI change, all the manuals will have the old screenshots for the UI changes.
Okay.
Yeah, that will take some time to have the new screenshots in the manuals. For example, the new cosmetic changes we have done in 376.
Okay.
Yeah, so that will be there, but otherwise all the new functionalities which I have mentioned in the release notes will be available there. So I will send all these recordings and all the presentation I have made, which will be very helpful to everyone. So you don't actually have to go through all the manual. So if you see this one, I have mentioned like on which manual it's available, the information is available. So you can just straight away jump into the section. I'll just quickly show you if anyone is not aware where you can find it. You just simply go to the help section, you go to the user manuals, and all the information will be provided in this section. So you simply open any of the manual, you press Control and F, you straight away find out the section over there.
How about the release logs? Will you update our release logs in UAT?
Yes, I think release notes will be there in UAT. We just need to update the UAT environment. So once we will update, you will have everything, all the latest manuals and documents in the release notes.
Yeah,
Okay.
ours was updated last weekend, I think, or was it weekend before?
Yeah, I think I think it was last weekend.
Yeah, I just checked it. The release log is different from what you saw in the slides.
Yeah, I think that could be the old version. I'll check on what version your UAT is on. So
Yeah, because
if you can just send us an email, we'll update the UAT to the latest one, and then
Okay.
you can start testing again.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Alright.
all good. Any other questions? Also, we do have a session tomorrow. You are more than welcome to attend the session again. Although it's going to be the same session, so all the information, all the slides and everything will be the same. But just in case, if you want to attend, you're more than welcome to attend. And then all these questions that have been asked, we'll try to get back to you before you will go live to the production system with 376.
Okay. Do you have any update on the price guide at this point?
Not at the moment.
So that the upload of the price guide is not dependent on this particular version upgrade, is it? You'll just upload it anyway.
Yes, we just upload it anyway.
Yeah.
Every time. So we don't wait for the confirmation from anyone. Whenever NDS give us the new price guide, we straight away upload to the system.
Yeah.
And straight away to the production environments. We send an email though. We send an email to all the clients. Okay, NDS has changed the price guides and there is new catalog coming up. We will be updating the production environments with the new catalogs, and then you have all the new services in the system already.
Yeah. And all the old ones too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Any questions from anyone? I'll try to get these answers by tomorrow. I'll try to, check with the teams and check with the NDS as well on this one. And I'll try my best to get back to you on all these answers, and also try to include all these questions in the FAQ document as well. So you don't have to look after what has been asked in the training session. So I'll include all these questions in the PowerPoint presentation as well. And also the recording session, I will be sending you end of the day today. Any questions as of now? No?
I think all good.
Yeah. All good, everyone. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Akshit.
Thank you, Enroll. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.